Welcome, viewers. Uh, we take off from the last video. This video is, in fact, a continuation of the last one. I believe I overused my phone, and therefore uh, the YouTube had to come in to interrupt again. So either the YouTube or MTN, I don't know. So let's continue from the macho man. Oh, sorry. I think where we got to was about sex. Oh my God. Sorry about this. I think where we got to was about a woman running away from her husband because of too much hard sex. Aha, this is it. Woman runs naked after hard sex. So let's go to the next story. Let me take the macho man's story first, then we can come back to strange but true. Mm. The story is the story is entitled "Meet Super Macho Man." Meet Super Macho Man. The name is Van Taylor. Is a super macho man who became an instant hero in the film Austin Power 2. Austin Power 2. He has appeared in many films and acted in different roles as a panda bear, dog and several gorillas. As a panda bear, dog and several gorillas. An unforgettable incident that happened to him was when he and colleague were on the set playing a, playing a jailhouse scene and in the process strained a little too hard and farted really loudly. Well, it happens, it's a normal thing. And farted really loudly. Everybody heard it. Ma- Embarrassing, isn't it? But sometimes it's part of life. You make a small mistake and then it can happen. You have to check yourself well before going out. Maybe visiting the bathroom before going out in public. As a human being. Uh, that's why I like Islam. Mm. You do such a thing, you have to start all over again. God dislikes it. Mm. Islam, you have to take care of yourself before you pray. You make sure that there's no air inside you, so that you partner hard. So everybody heard it, and that was very embarrassing to him. Van was no regret. Van has no regret about this, about his height. Sorry, Van has no regret about his height because he has made it big in life. He has no regret about his height because he's made it big in life. He is very successful man with numerous girlfriends, mansions, and different cars, including a Mercedes CLK 320 model. So I'll show you the picture again. Like I say, some viewers may know him. Some viewers may know him. Those who know him will know whether he's still alive or not. Now let's go to uh, okay, several stories here. Why do I bleed after sex? I hate my legs. Well, if you hate your legs, what do you want us to do? What is what was it a one night stand? Question mark. Then abortion has changed me. But what I love most is these stories. Strange but true. The first story is the Seagull Cafe. In the Cape Cod Times, I don't know, it's Cape Cod or Gold Coast, I don't know. In the Cape Cod Times, I'm reading what I see. In the Cape Cod Times, Cod spelled COD. In the Cape Cod Times, restaurant guide and in the Cape Cod Times restaurant guide and in the Cape Cod Time restaurant guide, an establishment called the Seagull Cafe is listed. According to the description, the cafe features American cuisine, outdoor dining, and an open buffet. It is open all year round. Unfortunately, this pleasant eating place is a hoax played upon the paper. The address given is that of the city's rubbish dump. I don't know why journalists should do that or people should do that. Vampire bats, the next story. Vampire bats fed on human blood. Vampire bats. Vampire bats in Texas are being forced to change their diet. The South American blood drinking bats at the Hudson Zoological Gardens in Texas have had their supply of beef blood cut off because of the meat shortage. Curator uh, Richard Quick explained that the meat packing firm that used to provide the bat's liquid diet had recently been forced to close down. Until the crisis is over, the bats are being fed on human blood discarded by local hospitals. So, if they are feeding on blood, they are more or less eating human beings. If they are feeding on human blood, that's what it means. The brave zebra, police recruit, habitual drinker, sleeping beggar, good luck ritual. I don't know if you want to read. Vampire bastard, okay. The brave zebra, police recruit, habitual drinker. Three pilots for Northwest Airlines were arrested for drunk flying. One of the three, a captain, had a blood alcohol level over three times the legal limit. He argued in his defense that as a habitual drinker, indeed an alcoholic, he had to drink far more than other people he felt before he felt my benefit. Sorry. He had to drink far more than other people before he felt my benefit. Well, I don't understand that. Maybe viewers can understand that. Sleeping burglar. One night in 1990, a woman of Van Nuys, California, stepped out of her bed onto something large and apparently asleep on her rug. It turned out to be a burglar who, over, who overcome by the 20 beers which he had used to fortify his courage, had passed out. You went to see like you saw beer and you drunk and then you slept and people the owner comes to meet you. That's life. هلكنا الإنسان في أحسن التقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين. We raised mankind to heights, very high heights, and then brought him down to the lowest level. That's the lowest level. Blessed by an exorcist. As a final step towards casting out a demon that had supposedly possessed him, a young man of Arlington, Virginia, was told to bring all his money so that it could be blessed by the unofficial exorcist. Unsurprisingly, she disapproved. She disappeared along with the trusting young man's $16,000. Bring your money so that I will exercise evil spirit from me. And you present $16,000 without thinking about it. Oscar Dominguez. Oscar Dominguez. Oscar Dominguez, psychiatrist Oscar Dominguez, 45, is facing a 25-year sentence for murder of a female patient in Sao Paulo. She was telling him about her sex life when he grabbed a gun and shot her. I could not take these nutcases anymore, he explained to the court. So you see, confessions by some ladies. Well, we've gone to the true intention of the paper, to the bad side of the paper. 10 top lies we tell for love. Okay, let me read it a bit. Most folks will do anything to impress a new love, and lying about themselves tops, tops the list. And lying about themselves tops the list. More than one third of people tell each other about themselves in the early stages of a relationship. It's a lie, say researchers. So when you meet somebody first, the first things they tell you about themselves may be lies. Mm. And girls are just as guilty as guys. So both girls and guys, that men and women. Mm. People try to hoodwink their new lover, says one scientist, because they are afraid of screwing up the blossoming relationship. Pretending you are younger than you really are is number one romance fib. The others, denying that you have had previous lovers. Mm. That's why we must restrain ourselves. When you are looking for a lover, you don't know the number of people you have slept with before. You just have to close your eyes and love them and forget about it, or later on you regret. Mm. So, insisting that denying that they have had previous lovers, insisting that color of their hair is its natural shade, especially women. Saying your physical measurements are better than they are. Saying you earn more money or have more savings than your than you really than you really do. Okay, that's the English, than you really do, but here it's written as than you really do. Exaggerating the importance and the influence of your job because of love. Mm. Pretending the car you drive is more luxurious than it really is. Keeping embarrassing family skeletons locked in the closet. Implying you have fewer children than you really do, or that you are childless when you are not. Telling your new love that your hobbies are more varied and interesting than they really are. So this is a warning to would-be lovers. When you are loving some, you are starting new love, starting romance. Think of these things. Mm. Most of us tell lies just because we are afraid we might lose our potential partners. So many stories here. One night goes special. One night goes pear shaped, sorry. Clubber gets surprised. Randy daughter spotted. Fantas- Fantasist goes too far. Okay, let's see if we got it. Several years ago, when I was young and unwise about the ways of the world, I had this rather not habit of getting, not spelled Naught, not habit of getting kicks out of masturbating secretly in front of people. On several occasions, I sat in front of the strangers in a train, casually placed my coat over my lap, and ever would ever so stably bring myself off without the slightest knowledge of the poor gentleman who sat opposite me. So I think this is a lady. This became a bit of a challenge to myself, and I would find myself in ever more dodgy situations. But I realized it had got a bit too silly when I managed to come in the back seat of a car sitting in between two church youth group leaders on the way to church. So, oh, I can't find the continuation of the story. So, but I think this is uh, a lady. Let's read this one too. Hangover lady forgets to do's. Hangover lady. Hangover lady forgets to do's. After getting drunk with a group of friends on a hen night, I got talking to this fit bloke and went back to his went back to his for some really great sex. Then I duly left, not wanting the awkward morning after goodbyes. The following night, I had a date with a guy I had just started seeing. Feeling all hangover, we just decided to get a video out. Later that night, we were getting Annie, and I decided to put his fingers up my lady flower. Imagine my embarrassment when he pulled out a condom with spank still in it. With spank still in it. Spank is SPUNK. It might mean sperm. It might mean sperm. Uh, it must have slipped off during my sex session and night before. We never went out much after that. Of course, he wouldn't like it. Mm. Let's see if we can read this story or at least a part of it. He nearly died from alcohol poisoning. No, I don't think it's very important. It's not important. No more about stroke. No more about stroke. Put more bliss in your kiss. Make him crave you. All right, let me read this last part, which is not very uh, moral, but maybe it will help a few people. Hmm? The art of undressing your guy. Intensify his slow burn with our tips for taking it all of him. That's the English written here. Let him see the show. Since men are stimulated visually, have him stand in front of a full length mirror so he can watch your hot handiwork. Peel off one piece at a time, slowly and seductively. Unbutton his shirt, then undo his belt. For starters, continue shedding his darts, then save the best move, his fly, for last. Mm. Leave it on. Up his arousal ante by keeping one article on him, such as his skivvies. Teasingly touch him through the fabric. It's a hot way of saying we've got a it's a hot way of saying we've got a ways to go. Put his wardrobe to works. Put his wardrobe to work. Spike up the action by turning his clothing into passion props. Take his shirt, for example, as you tantalizingly pull it off his shoulders. Don't toss it. Instead, keep hold of it as it drapes down his back, barely touching his skin. Then grab his wrist and tie him up with the shirt sleeves. Be creative. He won't he won't complain. So this, like I say, it's not for everybody. Maybe for married people. This is appropriate for a lesson for married people, to keep their marriage going on instead of divorce. Mm. So, viewers, let's end here till our next video. Thank you very much. Ilalekai.